Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about a common issue many of you have shared with me. I can understand English, but I can't speak it fluently. Does this sound familiar? I receive numerous messages from students expressing this concern. They spend countless hours studying English, but when it comes time to speak, they freeze up. The words don't come. The grammar is forgotten, pronunciation becomes a struggle, and their vocabulary seems to vanish. The idiom, to go down the drain, perfectly describes how it feels when your English disappears in moments of need. This lesson is for those of you who want to break free from these struggles and build confidence in speaking English fluently. Before we dive into practical tips, it's crucial to understand why this happens. Knowing the cause helps us find the right solution. This lesson will not only improve your speaking skills, but also enhance your listening, pronunciation, and vocabulary. At the end of the video, you can test your understanding and ask questions in the comments. Let's get started. Why is it that many students can understand English but struggle to speak it fluently? The primary reason lies in the difference between receptive skills, listening and reading, and productive skills, speaking. Many English learners focus heavily on language input, watching movies, YouTube videos, TV shows, listening to podcasts, and reading books in English. This immersion is fantastic for building vocabulary and understanding how English works, but it doesn't necessarily improve speaking fluency. Speaking requires active participation and practice, not just passive absorption of information. Finding opportunities to practice speaking can be challenging, especially compared to the abundance of resources for consuming English content. It's not always easy or affordable to visit an English-speaking country, hire a personal tutor, or have an English-speaking friend. This challenge often leads to situations where students have a deep understanding of grammar but struggle with practical speaking skills. Today, I have 6 practical tips to help you overcome these challenges. The first tip is completely free. Talk to yourself. This was a technique I used while learning Spanish. Talking to yourself is one of the simplest and most effective ways to practice language output. You can start this exercise immediately. It might feel strange at first, but it's incredibly beneficial for improving fluency. Most of us have an inner voice that thinks in our native language. Try to create an English alter ego for that voice. If this doesn't work, practice speaking out loud. I'm watching TV. I'm washing the dishes. I'm picking up the plate. I'm scrubbing it with a sponge. I hope my husband brings home pizza for dinner. Speaking out loud helps you practice forming new sounds and words, which is crucial for improving fluency. Additionally, keep a vocabulary diary. As you talk to yourself, you'll likely encounter words or phrases you don't know. Record these in a notebook, a notes app, or even using your smartphone's voice function. For example, if you're walking down the street and realize you don't know the word for traffic light, record it and set a reminder to review it later. This practice helps you continuously expand your vocabulary with words that are relevant to your daily life. After noting down new words, practice using them in sentences out loud to reinforce your learning. Tip number 2, talk to a tutor. This step is crucial because a tutor can guide you through practical speaking scenarios. They can correct your grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and overall clarity, ensuring you're understood. Working with a tutor also provides a safe space to make mistakes and receive constructive feedback. I understand that finding the right tutor can be intimidating, but platforms like LanguaTalk offer trial sessions to help you find a tutor who matches your needs. Tip number 3, writing. Writing out responses to common questions or topics that interest you can build confidence and fluency. Think about situations where you might need to speak English and prepare responses in advance. Practice these aloud to get comfortable with the language. This exercise is particularly useful for preparing answers to frequently asked questions, such as, "Where are you from?" or "What do you do for a living?" By preparing these responses, you'll be ready and more confident when these questions come up in conversation. Tip number 4, focus on fluency, not perfection. Prioritize being understood over speaking perfectly. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process and offer valuable learning opportunities. Try to embrace mistakes with a sense of humor if possible. Remember, most people are willing to help if you ask. Keeping a record of corrections and reviewing them can also help you improve over time. Tip number 5, shadowing. This technique involves mimicking native speakers. When learning new words or watching a video, try to repeat what you hear. Shadowing helps with understanding, pronunciation, and natural word stress. It's not a method that suits everyone, but it can be highly effective. If you're interested, let me know, and I can create a detailed lesson on shadowing to guide you through the process. Tip number 6, record yourself speaking. This practice helps you become familiar with your voice and identify areas for improvement. It's also an excellent way to track your progress over time. Record yourself answering a common question, save the recording, and then record yourself again in a year to see how much you've improved. This exercise helps you become more comfortable with your voice and pronunciation, and it provides a tangible measure of your progress. Now, let's recap the 6 tips. Talk to yourself. Practice speaking English by narrating your daily activities. This helps improve fluency and confidence. Talk to a tutor. Work with a tutor to get personalized feedback and practice real-life speaking scenarios. Writing. Prepare written responses to common questions and topics that interest you. Practice these aloud. Focus on fluency, not perfection. Aim to be understood rather than perfect. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Shadowing. Mimic native speakers to improve pronunciation and natural word stress. Record yourself speaking. Track your progress and become more comfortable with your voice by recording and reviewing your speech. In conclusion, overcoming the challenges of speaking English fluently requires a combination of practice, confidence, and a willingness to make mistakes. Remember, fluency is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Don't be discouraged by setbacks, and keep pushing forward. Use these tips as part of your daily practice, and over time, you'll see significant improvements in your speaking skills. That's it for today's video. It was a long one, but I hope you found it helpful. Use this lesson for listening practice, and don't forget to test your understanding by asking questions in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing your progress and hearing about your experiences. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.